Hey guys, welcome back to another convention video, and this time have I got a great treat for you. I have the 1980s Toy Expo, which was held here in beautiful Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and it is one hell of a great convention. This is actually version 2.0. This is the director's cut of this original video that I did a while ago. This was back in May, but I thought I would redo this video a little tighter for your guys' enjoyment. You know, I want to make sure people are entertained by this. So I have many items that I wanted to show off here, many nostalgic items for collectors who do remember the 80s. It's all about my generation, that's what this is. You know, we had everything like the Ghostbusters firehouse here, and of course we always had Nintendo games. That's one thing that always brings me back to the 80s. They even had Snoopy Dixie cups at this convention. Bruce Lee even came back from the dead for this convention. No, but seriously, there's a lot of cool stuff to look at here as we get a great shot of an Emperor's Royal Guard almost smacking this poor guy next to him. But let's check out a quick interview with a friend before we get started.
Do you want me to say something?
Oh yeah, how's it going, Kermit? You enjoying?
Great. How are you?
I'm awesome. You enjoying the 80s Toy Expo?
I certainly have.
Yes, a lot of success for you in the 80s.
Definitely.
Big time.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I was introduced to the Muppets. Well, it's great seeing you, Kermit.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming to the show.
No, my pleasure, and it's a lovely tuxedo.
Thank you.
Now, the 1980s Toy Expo did not just have toys, they also had a ton of other great stuff, including this awesome Superman Kryptonite Nevermore poster signed by the great Neil Adams. There's always a few comic book vendors there as well, and you can see that it's mostly Marvel comic books that this one had out here, and I like to display it. It attracts a lot of attention. So it's mostly Deadpool, Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen books, as you can see there, but some old school ones too. Awesome Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux OPC hockey cards. Always great to see. And there's a Spock Heineken poster. Interesting. And of course, the 501st Legion always come out. You got a couple of snowtroopers and a couple of biker scouts. And Jango Fett and a stormtrooper pose with a fan. Behind this case is an awesome collection of original Star Wars figures from Kenner. Very rare and expensive. As this guy is very careful, moving them around. Great stuff. And of course the classic hovercraft, the Whale. And we've got a whole bunch of nice G.I. Joes here in these little plastic coffins that they come in. And more G.I. Joes. As you can tell, these sellers, they really do take great care of their G.I. Joes. They're all in really great shape, and I'd say they're worth the value that they're posted here. Awesome. Many Transformers here, of course, in the box. Some of them are sealed, some of them I don't believe are sealed, and they're just loose in there. Some stickers applied, some stickers not applied. A lot of Decepticons, and a Japanese one in the back. Here are some more Transformers, with another Japanese Transformer front and center with a siren on top to attract more buyer attention, I guess. But really awesome, great stuff here. I gotta say, you got the Wicked Gold Cybertron Rare Transformers too. Wow. There are some Masterpiece Transformers, some newer ones as well. So it's not all old school, like I said, there's a lot of new stuff. Just like this Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Wow, that is so cool, man. I would love to have that. I wish I could afford that Prime. Awesome. Some Kenner Superpowers figures from the 1980s. As you can see, some of them are fairly common, some of them are not, like Orion there and Golden Pharaoh. Some of them are rare. And you've got these Mattel throwback-looking DC Universe Classics figures. Awesome packaging. Batman himself even showed up for this convention, and it was really cool to see this Christopher Nolan-style version of Batman, the Christian Bale version. Here's a great shot of what one vendor was selling. He had boxes and boxes of great cool stuff here from the 80s. Everything from Return of the Jedi to Bucky O'Hare and Mattel's Masters of the Universe. And of course you got Robin Hood, Masked Switchblade, more Return of the Jedi. Just the list goes on. A packaged He-Man figure, that's got to be worth a lot. Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures in the package here as well. Lots of them. Some Supernaturals, too. I found these. These are alright. I mean, you know, the Visionaries are a little better, I think, in terms of the hologram-based figures, but these are pretty cool, and of course they're really nostalgic, too. Some Cops figures in the package. Some of them look like they've already sold. And of course you got some Ghostbusters and some more Cops here. Cops was everywhere. It's really cool to see. And it's just a great wide variety of stuff. You know, a lot of these reaction figures too, like the Goonies and Escape from New York, and all these other figures are obviously new. But these reaction figures are really cool. I like the Back to the Future ones, and they look like they were made back in the 80s, you know, like that same Kenner style. A lot of crash test dummies and random stuff here, some of which I can, you know, identify, some of which I can't. I mean, like the Sectors and Action Force, there's just so much to look at. And here's another batch of stuff to look at here. As you can see, I've got Robotech, a couple of Mask figures, and you've got the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons figures, along with the Dukes of Hazzard figures. I think I had that Sheriff Coltrane back in the day, that Roscoe P. Coltrane. Yeah, that's really, wow, that really brings me back. A couple of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom figures up here as well. Just a whole bunch of great stuff. Just a huge mix. It's awesome. Here are some Silverhawks, as some of you may remember that show from the 80s. It didn't last that long, but it was pretty cool actually, especially the intro. A couple of Mattel's Elite wrestling figures, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, and then you've got the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. That just screams 1980s. Also some older wrestling figures like Ted DiBiase. Speaking of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, I had the pleasure of meeting him once again. I've met him before, but he's such a nice guy that I thought I'd say hello one more time. As I got to hold the belt there. Everybody's got a price. He's a great guy. There's Jim Cummings, who was another guest at the convention, and he was a cool guy. I didn't want to bug him too long. We just got the thumbs up photo here going, and he was a really cool guy to meet. Here's a nice example of Jim's work, as I picked up a glossy photo from him. So he's got everything from Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, Bonkers, and Dog Cat, and so many characters. Dr. Robotnik, and there's a character called Hondo from Clone Wars at the top right there. Yeah, he's one of those alien kind of mercenaries in the Clone Wars cartoon. And then he's got Darkwing Duck, which is pretty obvious. That's the big one there. He's played so many different kinds of characters. I mean, he was the new Taz, and he played the hyena, Eddie, I believe his name was, in The Lion King. A whole bunch of different characters, mostly known for Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger too, though. Those are his best. Thanks so much for checking out this 1980s Toy Expo convention video, guys. I'm going to leave you with an interview with the Ontario Ghostbusters, which is pretty cool. I got Justin here showing off his patches. So thanks again for watching, guys. Alright, and I'm here with
Justin
from the Ontario Ghostbusters. Tell me a little bit about the Ontario Ghostbusters.
The Ontario Ghostbusters are a fan-based costuming group. It's been around for about 9 years now. We go to conventions, expos, basically any place that will let us in and doesn't close the door on us anymore or file restraining orders against us. And what we do is we bring our cool little toys, such as our Proton Packs, our items from Ghostbusters, and we show them off to the people. Plus we sell things for donations, because again, we take donations for sick kids. We started one for the Vasculitis Foundation, which is the illness that took Harold Ramis, and a non-kill animal shelter.
Sweet, awesome.
Come around to this side.
Awesome. Sweet. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. You guys are always here every time, so thanks for coming out again.
Well, thank you.